You know, I love my parents. They're pretty cool, and for some reason they recently decided to get me this owl. They thought it would be funny to put in my apartment. They thought it was interesting. They weren't wrong. But anyway, welcome to Weeaboo Wednesday. Weeaboo Wednesday is your weekly anime, Japan, video games news that I take from websites, smush together into a video, and hope you enjoy. And hey, did you know that liking this video and subscribing to my channel and commenting are all great ways to support me making these videos? Just saying. Today, let's begin with some interesting adaptation news. Yasutaka Tsuitsui is the author who originally wrote the story of The Girl That Leapt Through Time, which is a wonderful anime adaptation movie to that book, and it's an awesome movie. And it would seem that another book that he wrote is actually getting an adaptation into a TV anime. Fugo Keiji is the story of a wealthy detective that solves crimes in a very unconventional way. And it would seem that in this series, he gets assigned to some unit that basically is supposed to keep problematic or weird officers away from one another. And I guess he's one of them, I would imagine. But yeah, he teams up with someone from the unit and they solve crimes together in a very strange way. Now, this previously had a TV drama back in 2005, and I believe that was a live action show. So now it's interesting to see that they're going to be doing it as an anime because there's a lot more you can do with that, and the technology's come so far that I'm sure they'll make something great. So I'm interested. I did love The Girl That Leapt Through Time, so let's see if this one's any good. Ooh, Neo 2 finally got a story trailer, I guess. It sort of identifies some of the elements of what the game will be about. They mostly talk about stones, I guess soul stones or something like that. They talk a lot about stones, and of course there's tons of awesome imagery, and I really think that the designs and concepts look amazing. Some of the characters look super cool. There's lots of yokai and demons and stuff like that, which I absolutely love. Everybody looks really interesting, but man, the dubbing is so bad. Some of the choices just don't make sense. Why are you giving people in feudal Japan the voices of Englishmen? These are Japanese characters. This is so stupid. I really don't get why directors do this with Japanese properties. I could understand if the people were supposed to be from other places, but it's just nasty. Either way, the game looks cool, there's yokai in it, that's really all you need to tell me to be interested, so yeah, Neo 2. That's coming out on March 13th, so get ready. So it was recently announced that Takahiro Izutani and Harumi Fujita would be going to Otakon 2020. They were being brought on as guests, and they are famous video game music composers. They've worked on some really awesome stuff, which actually includes Bayonetta. The interesting news today is that they just cast somebody else to be at Otakon 2020. Minami Matsumae is a legendary video game composer who has been working in the industry for years. She did some of the original Megaman games, Final Fight, most recently Shovel Knight, she had some contribution to that, and she's kind of kept herself relevant throughout the years, but still, she's awesome, a legend, makes really awesome, dope, chiptune sounding, 8-bit music and stuff like that. Old school video game music. They are putting together a great panel of video game composers, and I think it's kind of wasted on a lot of fans, but still, for those of us who do appreciate it, man, this is a big get. She's awesome. Otakon is in the end of July, and man, it's been a while since I've been. I was going forever, but I stopped going once they moved to DC. But man, this year, that alone makes it really interesting to see who else they might get. When I was in Japan, I was in Akihabara, and I passed a game shop that actually had Rune Factory 4 for the Nintendo Switch. It was announced quite some time ago. It was also announced that they were going to be releasing Rune Factory 5 sometime later. And yeah, so I was excited to get Rune Factory 4 on my hands again because I haven't had it since it was out on the 3DS. Now, it would seem that they're finally bringing it to the United States, which is awesome. It's going to be coming in the same limited edition package that it came out in Japan. It includes a CD, of course, which is like a soundtrack, the game, and then a book, which has art, and other kind of concept stuff like that, which is great because I love the art in those games. Now, the re-release of Rune Factory 4 is releasing February 25th, so that's pretty soon. And they haven't actually nailed down a release date for the Rune Factory 5, which they said is in development, but I hope it's not too close to Rune Factory 4 because there's so much you can play in that game that I want there to be a decent enough window so that I can play the Rune Factory 4 and then get 5. But I do think it's important to support Rune Factory to show them that the demand is there. People do love these games. They're wonderful games. Even if you've never played one, definitely check it out. Rune Factory is an awesome series, and Rune Factory 5 will be even better if they have the interest of the fans and, of course, the funding that they need to create it. Zashiki Warashi no Tatami-chan, otherwise known as Tatami-chan the Guest Room Spirit. This is an upcoming pleasant horror gag comedy, which I don't know what that means, but it sounds like a kind of tongue-in-cheek way of playing with horror concepts like paranormal stuff and ghosts and yokai, and of course breeding it with some comedy. This is a series that was kickstarted back a year ago, and it only made about half of what they were hoping to make, and on that budget still, it would seem that they've put together a 12-episode series that will be coming out soon. Recently, it was revealed that it'll debut in April, and additionally, they talked about some of the cast info and the fact that the intro theme will be coming out on a CD, and there'll be a concert to premiere it as well, but that's all interesting enough. It's a lot of the stuff that I like in anime, which would be stuff like ghosts and supernatural stuff, yokai, demons, and stuff like that, and it's about this cute character. I don't know exactly what she's supposed to be. Her name's Tatami-chan, so I guess she's like the spirit of a tatami mat. Who knows? But either way, she comes from the Iwate area and moves to Tokyo and deals with supernatural occurrences there. So it sounds interesting enough and it looks cute, so I'm excited to see this. The Type Moon Museum that I talked about recently just changed everything up for the Unlimited Blade Works phase. If you're not familiar, Type Moon is the company that released Fate Stay Night 15 years ago, and for the 15th anniversary, they opened up a little museum, which is really cool because you can go see lots of interesting concept art and script and other stuff like that, all this crazy stuff related to the show, and it really fleshes things out, even stuff that was written long ago that never came to be, that maybe kind of came up later in other series, so that's really cool. And the Unlimited Blade Works ladder of the game is a really cool part of it, and that part of the branch is very famous for, you know, Unlimited Blade Works. I really don't have to say more than that. But still, it's really cool. They actually changed the little diorama of Fuyuki City to like the disastrous area of, you know, the city when it was in peril and all that. And yeah, it's cool because of course they changed all the art and all the other stuff that was on exhibit to be more so aligned with that part of the game. Now this runs through February 24th, which then they will change it over to the Heavens Feel phase of the exhibit. So they're going through all of it, which is awesome. Oh man, so Steins Gate is getting a live-action television adaptation. Skydance Media is currently making it, and they're actually famous for having done quite a few action movies and series. They actually did the World War Z movie quite some time ago, and they actually did the most recent Mission Impossible movie that came out, and they're also currently working on the next Top Gun movie, so that's the kind of stuff they're known for. And they're going to be adapting something like Steins Gate into a TV series, and I don't know, I just don't like the idea of this. It's just gross, because it's like every time anything good gets adapted, especially anime, it sucks. Do we need to remember the Death Note adaptation for Netflix? I mean, I don't even need to say it. I'm always so scared of anime adaptations to live action because they don't work. The people that adapt them don't know what's good about it. They don't even understand the medium, and they're releasing it for, you know, the general public. People that go to movies and see movies like Mission Impossible are not going to be in the same theater to see something like Steins Gate. And there's so many intricacies that are specific to anime and like weeaboos and fans of Japanese media that will not translate to an American audience. So I need to stop talking about this. They don't give a specific date, but they said that it's coming out soon. So get ready for Doom. Now, more positively, Weathering with You in its 6-day stint in the United States made something like $6.6 million. So in the 6 days that it was open for the 486 theaters that ran it, it made $6 million in America, which is great because, like I said before, there really wasn't that much marketing for it, I don't think. And the fact that this actually opened at number 2 in the box office, and it stayed there for 2 days, shows that, man, this kind of stuff really does do well, and the fans really are here. So I'm always happy to see that. Fathom Entertainment and GKIDS have been doing an awesome job with these movies, and I really hope they continue. Ooh, so Comcast on an earnings call talked about the opening of a Super Nintendo World here in America. Now, in 2023, they plan to open something called Universal's Epic Universe, which of course is going to be like a steroid version of Universal Studios. So that's going to host the new Mario world, which is a good idea, of course. They're getting a new area, a new land, completely new facilities, and they're putting this very new, interesting thing there. Now, they're already working on opening up one for the Japanese 2020 Olympics. They want that open this year so that people can, of course, go and spend all their money there. All the American tourists will be like, oh my God, there's a Nintendo theme park? Oh. So yeah, that's happening too. And of course, they're also planning one to open in Osaka. So there's gonna be quite a few of these things, and I'm sure it'll expand even further. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045 is the Netflix Ghost in the Shell series that's coming out. I recently talked about this and how I was interested but also kind of irritated because it's a CG show, everybody's 3D, all the characters are just models, and it's not quite as good looking. I really still don't like the way it looks. This new trailer just shows that it's kind of cumbersome looking, but of course the design work of Ilya Kushinov is in this, which really excites me because I love her art, and the way that she made Motoko look is actually really refreshing and very, I would say, I think it's very respectful to the previous designs of Motoko that we've come to know and love, but also new enough in a way that doesn't make it too jarring, but still does show that this is a newer version. And she looks great, she looks wonderful, but I don't know, the trailer makes it look kind of weird. I'm happy to see all my favorite characters from Ghost in the Shell. The voice acting sounds pretty clean and awesome, and it looks very action-oriented. Now, I understand that there is action in Ghost in the Shell, and I'm not saying that I don't like that, but Ghost in the Shell is more political and philosophical, and that's why I've always loved it. And it seems like there's a lot less of that in this trailer. I know that that's not a very exciting way to show off a show, but they show nothing but action, guns blazing, people running around fighting, all kinds of stuff. Even a touch coma comes out, and I love me some touch comas, but I'm afraid they could have lost a bit of the plot here. But of course, I'm not too scared because Shinji Aramaki and Kenji Kamiyama are working on this together, and they will make something spectacular. What upsets me is that there's no Yoko Kanno music for this, but of course she's probably far too expensive to book for something like this. But the people that are working on it are responsible for music from games like Halo and even the Metal Gear Solid series, so that could be fitting. Metal Gear Solid has fitting music for espionage and tactical missions and military stuff, so they could probably make something pretty good, especially with Halo being a military series as well. I'm excited to see what the music they will bring will be because they've done good work in the past. So please be good, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045. Man, this is awful. In Japan, Nintendo will stop servicing the original Wii console March 31st. It would seem that it's getting very difficult for them to find older parts that are compatible for these repairs, and thus they could even stop fixing Wii consoles sooner depending on part shortage. So if you're in Japan, get your system fixed if it's still within warranty period, or I guess if you want to pay to get it fixed, whatever. But still, that's happening and it's kind of funny. Dorohedoro is an interesting new anime with this alligator lizard man and this really strangely drawn female, and it's this weird mix of 2D and sort of 3D-ish animation. An interesting series, to say the least, but they've done something interesting to market it. They released a 2D 8-bit brawler in the style of like old beat-em-up games, I guess, and it's playable online and it's even cooperative. And the people in Japan who happen to get high scores are eligible to win prizes like stickers and t-shirts. So that's pretty cool, and it's all based around the first episode that recently premiered of this new anime. So that's pretty cool. Oh, why does this keep happening? Okay, so they're making a Megaman live-action movie. This has been announced quite some time ago. The original people that were supposed to be writing and directing it were the people responsible for Paranormal Activity 3 and 4, which, if that is who you were originally going with, I don't like what you're putting into this project. I already have no faith in what you are going to give this project because you don't want it to succeed. You want a cash grab, sure, but you're not doing anything to make sure this is good if those are the people you're putting at the helm. Now, I'm not sure if those people have been done away with entirely, but it would seem that Mattson Tomlin is now writing a script for this movie. I don't know anything that this guy's done, but it would seem that he wrote the script for the upcoming The Batman movie. That still doesn't give me much hope. Now, obviously enough, superhero movies get millions and billions of dollars thrown into them, and if he did this new Batman movie, who knows if that's good. DC movies have been crap as of lately, but I still don't like this. Back in 2018, they announced that this movie was going to try to cater to a very diverse audience, which to me means, yes, you gamers that like Megaman, you can watch this movie, but we're also just trying to get everybody to like this, even if they have no stake in Megaman and don't care about the property at all. We want to get somebody off the street to come watch this movie and say that they enjoyed it. But here's the problem with that kind of idea. People that are just walking the streets that know nothing about Megaman are not going to go see this very diverse appeal movie because they have no interest in it. And regardless of whether or not you make it accommodating for the general public, that doesn't matter. They're not interested to begin with. Please stop adapting stuff like this. I know there's no original ideas anymore, but stop. And finally, the Gundam Cafe. I recently talked about that needing to close down coming soon because of some renovations. Now, it was also announced recently that back in December, they were closing the AKB48 Cafe, which I thought was kind of sad. It's been there for quite some time, but that got shut down December 31st. And I'm wondering now if they're going to use that space in renovating the Gundam Cafe, because it's been recently announced that the Gundam Cafe will close its doors in March. They're going to reopen in July, and they have stated that once they reopen, it will be 4 times the scale that it currently is now. So, how are they going to do that? Are they going to eat up that building next door, which was the AKB48 Cafe? Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm excited to see what they'll do. I have been to the Gundam Cafe before, 2 years ago, but I'm still excited to see it because I love Gundam, and the Gundam Cafe is pretty cool if you have the time and the money to spend there. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, make sure to like the video, comment, and tell me what your favorite story is or what you think this owl's name should be. I'm gonna link a video right here, and I want you to watch it. Even if you've seen it before, click the link. It helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on Friday for a figure review. And if you don't come back and watch it, I'm gonna be mad. Nah, I mean, it's okay. You don't have to watch it. I won't force you.